Forest. If you happen to take a walk and see an area that was restored by 10 hectares, which was restored by Samsung, it's only 4 years and it's a complete forest. So all these efforts we are pushing towards the achievement of the 10% forest cover in Kenya. I was reading about forestry in Thailand, and I found out that you're doing much better there because you have around 37.1% forest cover, which is around 4 times ours. So that is a plus for you, and thank you for translating that. Wanting to make sure that we get to where thy land is as far as forestry is concerned. So you are helping us in trying to get to where your country is. Thank you so much. So let me take you through the species that we are going to plant today and their importance. So I will give the common name, the English name, and the scientific name. So this one here is called the Elgon teak. That is the common name. The Elgon teak is one of the hardest tree species. The most expensive furniture in town. If you go to town and you find these people selling very expensive furniture, if it's not a mahogany, it must be this Elgon teak. Very hard wood. Yeah. So and it is indigenous to Kenya. So that is the Elgon teak. Very useful, very useful timber. If you want to do commercial forestry for timber purposes, you have this one. Then we have this one here, a very special tree to many Kenyan communities. It is called the ficus thoningi, or the strangler fig. It strangles other trees for it to survive. Yeah, it has to kill someone for it to survive. So that is one feature about this tree. It's called, the local community here call it mugumo, and it's a highly spiritual. They, if you go to a forest, which in the central Kenya, the parts of central Kenya, and you are a forester in that region, you will have no problem with people felling this tree, because for you to fell it, you must get yourself a goat. So it's highly valued. So you have no problem. You have no problem if you are a forester in an area full of this particular tree. So they used to long ago, and I think nowadays still they pray under that tree. Yes. So that is the ficus thoningi, or the strangler fig. Then we have this one here. This one here is called the Meru oak. Meru oak, or the scientific name is Vitex keniensis. It is also one of the hardest tree species. Number 3, that is after the mahogany, and then the Elgon teak, and then the Meru oak, in terms of the rank of the wood density. Yes, so this is the Meru oak, or Vitex keniensis. It has very sweet fruits which turn black when ripe, and they have antibody booster properties.
Wow.
Yeah. So those are the fruits. And then we have this one here. This one here is called the silver oak. Silver oak. Look at the leaves. Yeah, under the leaves they look like they are silvery. Yeah. So that is the silver oak. The scientific name is Brachyllina huilensis. So this silver oak was almost going extinct here in this forest. The reason is those people in town, they used to invade this forest so much. The wood covers, for wood carvings, to carve, if you want to carve an animal, it is a very good tree for that particular purpose. And it is a dryland species too. If you have an area which is quite dry, this is a species that can do well there. So that is the silver oak. And then we have this one here. It's called the East African yellowwood, or podo. It's called Podocarpus falcatus. This one here is now a softwood. If you want to do cabinets, if you want to make cabinets, this is a very good tree for that particular purpose. And then it is a fast grower, so it is a good restoration species. You want a forest within the shortest time possible, you interplant this one with some others, like the crotons and the macadamias, like this one. You interplant them within 4 years now is when you can have that forest like the one that I was talking about. Then we have the hardest wood ever. I said mahogany. Yes. So here is the father of all hardwoods. So this is the mahogany. It's called Trichilia emetica. That is the mahogany. You can see how hard it is. You can tell from as young as it is. So the reason as to why we are removing the exotic species is because of the role of this forest. My colleague John said this forest is referred to as the lungs of the city. This is where Nairobi breathes from. This is where all the greenhouse gases are sequestered. If you compare the leaf surface area of this Elgon teak, for example, and this eucalyptus tree species, which one has a larger leaf surface area? This one. So which one do you expect to trap more carbon? This one. So definitely that is the reason as to why we take rid of the exotic and replace with indigenous. Somebody would ask, but why the podo? Very, very tiny leaves. The wood density of that podo compared to the many exotic tree species is high. Therefore, the amount of carbon stored in that is very high. So issues to do with climate change is real. Climate change has become real. Climate change, we are in December. Quite often we don't expect to be having rains in December. This year was looking at our reports because we often go with the meteorology, we often get information from the meteorological department that we expect rains. For 19 days, the meteorological department told us it is going to rain in November, but we didn't see any rain. So that is why we are saying climate change is real, and one of the mitigation measures of climate change is not only planting trees, but making sure that we grow them. Here in Karura, we don't do any tree planting, we do tree growing. There's a difference between planting a tree and growing a tree. The difference is, planting a tree is you just bury this tree and you go. Growing entails making sure you nurture it for a minimum duration of 4 years. And that is what we are going to do here. As we live here today, we're going to record the GPS coordinates and we upload the Royal Thai Embassy. It is going to appear in our database that on this day, the 16th of December 2021, the Royal Thai Embassy was at the VIP tree planting site with the GPS coordinates having been recorded doing this noble activity. With those few remarks, thank you so much and God bless you and welcome to Karura once again. The 82 trees will be planted when we will be having good amounts of rainfall because we don't want, it has a meaning. The ambassador said the 89 trees has a meaning. So it is our wish and it is our responsibility to make sure that the 89 trees that has a meaning today survive. So we often have a target of 92%. Over the past 3 years, we have had up to 95% survival rates. So, and we want to assure you that these trees here, the future regimes or the future ambassadors, if they want to come and have a look at what was done by the current ambassador, they should be able to find that the 89 trees, especially the 7 trees here, and then the 82 on the other areas are doing very well. Thank you so much, and God bless you.
Thank you.